Hey guys, welcome back to Pretentious Pundits, the channel where we discuss all things football and pretend to know what we're talking about. There's a Euro video has been a long time coming. Considering what was the last video we even put out?
We don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah, I'm getting too old for this shit. But anyways, sorry for being absent throughout most of the UCL finals and Euro, as well as Copa America. But there's a reason for that. Also, it's actually kind of good that we never put out our predictions video for the Euros because we literally got every single one of them.
Oh, no one predicted what would have happened in these Euros at least.
But nobody would have gotten it so horribly wrong either.
We got it horribly wrong.
I think the France exit was it was the most unexpected thing that could happen.
Yeah, I'll probably show Sumit a picture of our predictions later. But anyways, guys, so what are we going to be doing today? Predictions, Euro 2021 finals predictions. And as we all know, Italy and England are going to be facing off against each other to see who's going to be the next European champion. Anyways, let's just kick it off with the Italy fan down in that corner. Yasser, what are your thoughts and predictions? How do you think this game is going to go?
I think both teams really pressed really well in this tournament, so I see a really good game. I think England, when you press them, I think they're a bit shaky at the back with Pickford and with Maguire, so I think that'll be the game for Italy. But I don't think they'll commit too far forward because England can really capitalize on the pace they have up front. A through ball to any of them, Sterling or it can be anyone for that matter, and they can go through on goal. So I see a very cagey game. I think Italy will settle because it's at home as well. It's at Wembley, so England have an advantage there as well. But yeah, I see a very cagey game, but I hope Italy can come on top.
Yeah, fair enough. And actually, speaking of fixtures for both the respective clubs, Italy and England, obviously both of them had relatively easier groups, I would say, compared to some of the other teams. But again, nothing is taken for granted. But speaking of the quarterfinals as well as the semi-finals games, I feel like Italy have had a tougher run of fixtures as compared to England. So I'm not really sure how that's going to play a role in coming to the finals. So what are your thoughts on that, Shash? I mean, technically Italy has knocked out Belgium as well as Spain, whereas England on the other hand have faced off against Ukraine and Denmark, who are
and they should house their way in here
somehow.
The thing is, I'm reading the stat right now. It says so Italy are unbeaten in their last 33 matches in all competitions. That unbeaten run, I think their clean sheet, they had kept a clean sheet also in, majority of the matches since I think they conceded one goal, or was it two? But conceded, it was two, right? Yeah. So they conceded, but then that was after such a huge amount of time. The defense is looking solid, and they just don't look like they're scared of anyone. They came into this tournament when people thought that, okay, Italy aren't going to do anything, because when you look at the 2018 World Cup,
they didn't
qualify. So everyone thought that this team is not going to do anything. But look at them now. They're 33 matches unbeaten. They've come to the final of the European Championship. And I think in the previous meetings with England, I think England have won just one out of, 11 meetings with Italy. So I think people say stats don't matter, but I think stats like these do matter because it shows the confidence of the players when they play against each other. Because if a player is going to read that their national team hasn't beaten the other national team for who knows how long. I think the last was 1980s. So if they haven't beaten them since then there's definitely going to be a lot of pressure. And also the first final for England, the first Euro final for England. Italy have been there multiple times, but it's the first one for England. So I think all of this is going to play a lot of mind games with the England players. And I think they've done a good job coming to the finals, but I just don't see them winning against an Italy side who are looking very dangerous.
Fair enough. Home advantage is with England right now, so I'm not sure. Granted that they've not beaten Italy in very long, but obviously it's a common factor every single time. England fans just completely blow things out of proportion, and they hype their team so much to the point that I feel like right now, with the kind of belief England is showing, they genuinely think that they can win this. And I think it's going to be down to the key moments in defense. The attack on both teams is splendid. Obviously, with Insigne, Chiesa for Italy, and Kane and Sterling for England. But I feel like defense is where it all comes down to because, again, Donnarumma has had a brilliant stat with Italy, hasn't conceded more than 2 goals, even when he has very rarely conceded
Oh yeah,
goals.
I think it's three. And from the knockout round, they have conceded in every game. But before that, they have been absolutely. They have three clean sheets.
Exactly. And speaking of, I don't think we can say the same for Pickford. I mean, he's obviously the first choice keeper for France. I mean, for England, but he looks very shaky between the sticks. It takes is like that one moment for the defense to go wrong, and the game could be all over. But also speaking of the current run, Sumit, how do you think England is going to approach this game considering the amount of flack that Sterling has been getting for that dive against Denmark, and the fact that they only edged Denmark out of the competition and not so much as a clear statement of intent?
I think England will play this very safe. Like they'll only want like 1 or 2 goals at best in the game totally. So I think either Kane or Sterling are going to score again. Pickford is quite shaky in the goal, but the front two in front of him, Maguire and Stones, they have a very good partnership with them right now.
That's true.
I don't
Even
like
Kyle
it.
Walker. Kyle Walker was incredible in that.
Oh yeah,
game.
Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw with the attacking crosses. Oh, brilliant.
He has
But
been
if
treated this.
But if this goes down to penalties, I don't think England are winning. I think Donnarumma is the better keeper there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, also, if you were to talk about, say, for example, certain changes that Italy would be making, Yasir, who do you think Italy would be looking to sub out for this game, or rather play from the bench?
No, I think they have a set team. I think Spinazzola's injury was huge for Italy. I mean, really a huge miss for them because the attacking output that he puts in is incredible on that left hand side.
Right.
But this game, I think it's the same. Jorginho as the centre mid, Barella, Verratti, Chiesa, and Insigne. up top.
Insigne.
Yeah, and Immobile hasn't been that great this tournament. I think just in the group stages he got a couple. I think one of the goals, but after that he hasn't been like involved in the goals too much. So there should be a lot more coming out of him. But Italy are going to line up the same way. It's going to be absolutely the same.
Right, fair enough. Also, Shash, quickly speaking about the squad quality, when you put Italy head to head with England, who do you think has a better squad quality? Keep in mind, we're not talking about substitutes here because I think there's a clear winner when you talk about substitutes alone.
Yeah, but I think if you just look at squad quality in as a whole itself, the thing is none of us pay attention to Serie A as much as we do to the Premier League since we're all Premier League fans. But if you look at Serie A, there is so much of quality in these Italian players. Maybe their names are not brought out to the public because they're not from England, but there's so much of quality. So I think overall in the team, just by quality, I would say it's Italy have the better quality. But the names, the big name players are all in England. That's
I
just
think-
because they're well known. That's just because they're well known. But Italy has the quality, better quality than England. I still feel.
I think
They're more
England has more
creative, they're more-
potential than quality.
Exactly, they have
Definitely,
a lot more.
They're
potential.
really young right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can say that they have more potential, but again, it's mostly just media hype as such. Every time you see a young English player score, say, for example, more than
True.
4 goals, you're probably pegging him to be the next Wayne Rooney. You're probably pegging him to be the next David Beckham, whatnot. But again, I think Shash, when he spoke about the fact that Italian players don't get a lot of media coverage, I think that's very true. Because if you were to talk about young players, I mean, technically speaking, there are so many like Barella, Chiesa, all these young players who are like so good, and yet their names aren't very out there. Obviously, maybe Donnarumma is getting more exposure now purely because the statistics are out there, and also that he just made a he just signed for PSG, so we'll probably be seeing more of him in the media. But we don't hear a lot about Chiesa. We don't hear a lot about Barella, even though they are playing good seasons in and out. Because
That's because Chiesa is always in Ronaldo's shadow.
Yeah.
true.
Shadow
It's
of
true.
Ronaldo.
That's exactly.
This was always the problem with Madrid. All the youngsters used to not be visible just because of Ronaldo. And now the same thing is happening in Italy as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what about players like Manuel Locatelli? He's
Yeah.
been so solid
Yeah.
for Italy this season. I mean, this Euros. And to be very honest, I feel like on a club level as well, he's very important and very crucial for every team he plays. Obviously, he's moved away from Milan now, but again,
Yeah, he's with Sassuolo now, but he's obviously linked with so many big clubs, right?
exactly. Also, speaking the same about Pessina.
And players like Spinazzola, I knew him because I play FIFA and I've watched football.
He
since
was
I
at
don't know how
Juve,
many years.
yes.
But the moment he got injured, that's the only time he's got media coverage. Not when he played his games well. Only when he got injured, I saw media coverage saying that, wow, Italy's lost a crucial player. Till then, no one even spoke about him.
Yeah, again, like that only goes to show the media bias towards English players
England, yeah.
mostly.
I
But
think
And it
Phil
goes to
Foden
show,
said
I
that.
think every international tournament there are these players who really like outshine everyone and
exactly,
like they really come out in the spotlight. So obviously the media coverage is it's normal for players to get to perform well in the tournament. But yeah, you're right with Serie A not getting that much media coverage because it's a more tactical, it's a more defensive league rather than the
right?
Premier League, which is high
Hmm.
intensity, high tempo. So that's normal, but this game is really playing out to, it plays into Italy's hands because England in front of the home crowd, 60,000 odd fans, and
Yeah,
then they
Imagine
are
if
they
they
are
lose.
they are touted as the underdog. So Italy right now they are in the perfect position to cause an upset, and they are
exactly.
motivated in the right way to win the game.
I mean, speaking exactly, elaborating on what you said, it's probably just England's game to lose at this point.
Exactly, it is.
They
It
Yeah.
clearly
is.
know what their game plan is. They just need to show up, put up a strong performance, and they need to do exactly the same thing they've done throughout this tournament. That is, be defensively solid. Because regardless of their midfield and attack being splendid as well, I feel like their defense is the highlight of their entire team. Because at such a their centre backs partnership at such a old age, Chiellini and Bonucci are still showing players how it's done. And for so long they've had that partnership and that chemistry. So that's one partnership where the communication is not it's not required. They just know what they're going to do. It's Bonucci's job to play a little back and play it safe. It's Chiellini's job to go into rough tackles. It's always been that way. Again, the fullbacks also pretty good. If you're talking about England's squad as such, the youth plays a very important role purely because of the fact that majority of these players who are playing for them in their first team is the first time they are representing England in a major tournament. The likes of Mount, Saka, probably Phillips, Rice, all these players who are starting so regularly, it's their first time representing England at the high stage. So probably the pressure is going to play into their minds. But let's just see how. Again, I feel like Gareth Southgate isn't that great of a manager. But the fact that he somehow managed to
Gareth Southgate is absolutely trash. I hate the guy.
he's bad, my man. But you know what the
No,
problem
no,
is?
no. This Gareth Southgate, I think the last game against Spain, he redeemed himself. I don't know the way they played. Obviously, not against Spain. I mean Denmark.
I
They
don't
get the
like
job
him.
done. They get the job done. Last they reached the semi-final in the World Cup as
That's
well.
true.
They
That's true.
reached the final in the next. So the two tournaments, the major
I
tournaments that
think
he's
that's
been
up to.
involved in.
I don't think Southgate has anything to do with it. I think the players have.
Yeah, same.
Come on,
Don't
man.
give Southgate any
No,
credit.
you
He
can't
doesn't deserve it.
you can't remove
You,
Southgate's output from
yeah,
the entire
England,
team.
no, listen. England has such good quality in their team. That, I mean, they actually have a really good team. Southgate makes the team so boring. I don't like watching England's matches. They are so boring.
You are pretty correct about that.
It
no,
is
no.
so
Listen,
boring.
we have watched this 2004, 2006. We had that golden generation Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, and every time they used to come up short in the tournaments, and they used to blame it on the manager because they had a brilliant squad. Is the same happening right now? And Gareth Southgate has realized that results are what fans want, and he plays with two CDMs with Phillips and Rice, and they're getting results, and that's what all the fans want right now.
I purely want England. I want the England squad to win because I want all of them to go blonde.
Yeah, yeah. Just Foden, like
Yeah,
everything
Look at
like
the
yeah.
phone
that.
hairstyle.
I mean, look, technically speaking, if you're strictly speaking, Gareth Southgate, I would say he's done brilliantly this tournament.
This
That's also
tournament.
that's also down to the fact that he has a brilliant crop of players available to him. So there's a lot of tactics he can explore there. But to be honest, again, I wouldn't peg him right there with like top managers in England purely because of the fact that a couple of seasons back he was getting relegated. He was getting sacked from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, yeah.
For a manager
Hmm.
getting sacked from Middlesbrough, this is something huge to make it to a European Champion final. And again, speaking of Gareth, the players, I want them to go blonde as well. I really do because I personally think that would be hilarious. I personally think that would be hilarious. But again, his tactics so far, the only game where he probably looked very comfortable was the Ukraine game. Every other game, it's either been like a very cagey affair or certain decisions that you feel like
I think
shouldn't have
all of
gone
us
their
were
way.
watching the Croatia game together. I was saying
Yeah.
how boring it was. It was such a boring game. They had so many chances and they were just fluffing all those chances.
Yeah, at the start of the tournament,
yeah.
England were really bad. I admit they're off the pace. They didn't know what to do,
I did
how to
not think
go
they're gonna
about
make
it.
it finals.
But they did pick up from that, so I
Yeah,
feel
yeah, they
proud.
definitely they went from strength to strength. Definitely.
Yeah, and I feel like this is becoming a very it's an increasing trend where it's very easy to blame the manager. Something goes wrong at United, you blame Mourinho. Portugal didn't qualify to the finals of the Euro, they're blaming the manager.
You blame Mourinho if something goes wrong at United. Ole.
No,
Yeah, back then, yes,
back then.
yeah.
I don't think anybody's complaining about Ole regardless of where they're finishing.
I
even
wanna
if they put up
see
poor
Serie A.
performances, nobody's going to say anything about Ole.
They treat Ole like he's king. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, probably because he played for them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, United legend.
Also, for some
This season, Serie A is going to be insane because have you seen the amount of big name managers that are managing?
Sarri and
insane. It's going to be.
Mourinho. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to
Allegri is back as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that Conte just left Inter, and Inter are also looking to sell players, that just blows the entire title defense wide open, because I don't think they're going to be able to defend their title as well as keep up with their financials at the same time.
I think they just needed to sell Hakimi, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But we are moving away from the point.
Yeah. Anyways, coming back to the talk where it's very easy to blame the manager. I think Gareth Southgate should deserve credit for bringing the team this far. Regardless of what bullshit tactics he employs or the players he's left out of the squad. I mean, if you are Gareth Southgate and you have so much talent available to you, I'm pretty sure that's not.
Why would you leave James Ward-Prowse? What's wrong with you? Are you stupid?
No, that just goes to show how much talent they have. You have to put 11 players on the pitch. You have to get the job done.
So many defensive-minded players, and he's left out the attacking-minded players.
But here's the question. It's producing results. So
I don't care. I want to see football. See, technically, football is not about producing results. It's about the game. It's about watching a fun game.
At the highest level, it's all about results.
Yeah, you know what this conversation is like? Have you seen those games where when you score like a 90th minute winner in the Champions League final, but it's a tap-in?
Yeah, it's a penalty. Then they say, no shit, that doesn't count. He scored a penalty.
Come on, man. These England fans have been starved of international glory for so long. I think their last win was in 64, 65?
65.
Yeah, 65. Their only World Cup, and ever since.
Yeah, it was the 1966 World Cup. Yeah.
Bro, they took our diamond. They took our diamond.
Yeah. It's fine.
They don't deserve anything.
But yeah, anyways, they've sat and watched the team fail to win anything under one golden generation. This is the second golden generation that they're lucky enough to get. So I hope that for them the mission is going to be to win. But again, like I said, it's very easy to blame it all on the manager. I think Paul Scholes did that when Portugal got knocked out. Like, you can't blame Bruno. I blame Bruno. He's shit. He's been shit.
He didn't do anything. He didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
He didn't start majority of the games, but...
Exactly. If he could emulate just half of what he did for United in Euros, that would be great. But to go and say that, it's all the manager's fault that you're out, I don't see that. I mean, yeah.
No.
I'm all for hating on Southgate. Okay, I don't understand why he does what he does, but as long as it's producing results, I don't think we have any right to question.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, as long as everyone's happy with the result, England fans are happy. The only issue here is if he wins the Euros, he's going to be immortalized.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be put up there.
Yeah, he's going to be up there with one of the
on a pedestal.
Exactly.
Queen Southgate. Right there.
Does not deserve it.
I think it's going to be Queen and then Southgate here.
Okay.
The fact that he's brought
for like a month or two, he's just going to be there.
He's going to get knighted.
He could be.
But guys, score predictions.
Yes, coming back to the score predictions. Yasir, come on, Italy fan.
This is where it comes down to. I'm going wearing the Italian shirt. I'm going for the 2-1 to Italy. It's coming Rome.
Alright, it's coming Rome. What about you, Josh?
Yasir said it's going to be a cagey affair. I think it's not. Every time we say it's going to be a cagey affair, it turns out the exact opposite.
No, but the finals.
But I have a strong feeling it's going to be 2-2, and then Italy will win on penalties.
What about you, Sumit?
I think it's going to be a 1-1, and then there are going to be some controversial decisions, but I think Italy will win it on penalties. Italy will win it on penalties. Let's see.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'm feeling crazy today. 1-0 England.
You think it's coming home? Oh.
1-0 England. I feel like, here's what I think. Italy is probably going to start off very strong. and obviously England are going to get away with a couple of chances or a couple of shots. But then Sterling is going to make it into the box. Some bullshit shithouse goal they're going to put in to a set piece or something, and then they're going to sit back and defend for the rest of the rest of
Yep.
the game.
I feel like some player is going to get a bad injury. I have a strong feeling. I have a strong
I hope not.
I hope not. I really hope. I don't.
There are 3 City players in England squad. I don't want any of them to get injured.
Hey, you know what? Let me be the only pundit to predict England win. And the only reason I'm doing that is so that in case it comes wrong, I can take all the credit for it.
You can be the.
In case it comes to, I'll take all the credit for it. But yeah, again, in the back of my head, I know Italy is gonna win, but I'm still gonna predict England is gonna pip.
Actually, I was going to say in the back of my head, I thought England is going to win, but I'm going to say Italy.
No, I think.
But it's England's game to lose. It's England's
I
game.
think England might win due to controversial decisions.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, obviously,
I can expect a Sterling dive.
the fact that obviously, why would you not? The only question is how many. Anyways, I feel like with the fans at home, right? The referee is also going to be under a lot of pressure. Every decision he makes, he's going to be under the spotlight. He's going to be scrutinized. So this is going to be huge for them as well. But anyways, guys, that's our predictions for the Euro final. Please let us know your predictions down in the comments section. In the meantime, guys, please share this video with your friends. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Follow our Instagram page. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Sayonara.